I was born in Oneida, Arkansas, April 19, 1922, in a shabby little tin-top shack. When the winter wind blew, it creaked and cracked in an open field down on the farm. First sound I heard that I understood, Papa chopping down trees, Mama toting in wood.
Rose Marie McCoy always had a gift for telling stories with her songs.
Yeah, my mother stood crying. My father had an aching heart. He said, son, please don't let us part.
In the 1950s and early 60s, Rose Marie McCoy was writing hits. Popular music was changing, and Rose was there, becoming the first Black woman to really make it as a songwriter.
To love you every day, if I may.
The things that she had to go through when she was writing successful songs, I can't imagine it being much harder for anyone in whatever position. This African American woman persevered even with all these odds against her. Everyone still wanted to deal with her because of her talent, and because of her perseverance, she made it.
It's pitiful. Feel so sorry for me.
Aretha Franklin, Ike and Tina Turner, and Elvis Presley all recorded her songs. But Rose's first dream was to be a singer. Growing up in rural Oneida, Arkansas, Marie Hinton, that was Rose's name back then, sang in church and helped on the farm. But she went to high school in Helena, 18 miles from Oneida, but a world away. Marie thrived at Eliza Miller High School. She was voted most friendly and queen of the football team. She sang at school, too. Music was everywhere. Traveling bands played at Eliza Miller. She heard the Jimmy Lunsford Orchestra and the Sweethearts of Rhythm.
But my mama gave me something would take me anywhere.
And that's when she said, that's what I want to do, because they were dressed up so pretty.
To become a singer, Marie decided she'd have to move to New York or Chicago.
She had to go to one or the other because you couldn't make it as a singer in Arkansas. Because most people from Arkansas went to Chicago because the trains would go right up. But as she said, I always liked to be different, so I chose New York.
She changed her name, becoming Rose Marie, and boarded a bus to New York. Rose began singing anywhere she could, sometimes in clubs where part of her job was mixing with the customers. On a visit back home in 1943, Rose married her high school sweetheart, James McCoy, just before he shipped out to fight in World War II. He was gone for 2.5 years. Rose made ends meet by ironing shirts for laundries that paid by the piece. She kept singing, getting some gigs opening for big acts like comedian Moms Mabley. In 1952, Rose auditioned for a small rhythm and blues label called Wheeler Records. She was 30 years old.
So Rose went down there, and she sang, and the woman said, "Can you write your own songs?" Because they needed songs, too, and they wanted the blues. So Rose went home and wrote 2 songs, and the record came out, but as Rose would say, it didn't make no noise. But people heard it. Producers heard it. Other record companies' owners heard it, and they started going after her.
Next, she wrote Gabbin' Blues for a new artist called Big Maybelle on OK Records. Rose based it on the Dozens, a game where 2 people insult each other until one gives up. Rose is the one doing the talking.
Here come old evil chick always telling everybody she come from Chicago. Got Mississippi written all over.
You better stop trying to run my business.
Look who's got business.
Oh, I'll have to do what I
And that was her first hit, and my first hit. Got the Cashbox Award.
Rose's songwriting career took off. She teamed up with Charlie Singleton. They'd work all day, sometimes writing songs in the morning that they'd sell in the afternoon. Nappy Brown had a hit with their song, Piddly Patter Patter.
My heart goes piddly patter, every time I look at you. I don't know what's the matter.
Patty Page made it a hit too.
I've been traveling over mountains.
Tryin' to Get to You was recorded by an obscure R&B group called the Eagles and by Elvis Presley.
I've been traveling in day. I've been running all the way, baby, trying to get to you.
The business was changing, and Rose was rolling with it. She stayed independent, both writing songs on her own and teaming up with other writers over the years. Herman Kelly was one of her writing partners.
My job was primarily to keep the groove going. I played the guitar, and Rose would say, well, what do you think about this? And she would say, oh, try me. Oh, try me and see.
If you don't believe I know how to love you, all you have to do is just try me.
I think Rose was at her best writing period in the 60s and 70s. She was slick.
She was always evolving and always wondering what the next step was.
Ideas come from everywhere. Like you might say something right now to give me an idea.